Hi, it's John again at Brotherton Accountants in Redditch. It's just another quick video following on from previous videos that we've posted, going on into a bit more detail just on the Kashflow software. So Kashflow is a full-blown accountancy package, which is one of the packages we're using within our Making Tax digital platform, which is Accounts.com. And it's we're getting some great feedback on it. It's really well liked, and the more we use it, we can see the real benefits that it's going to bring to our clients. So I just wanted to do some quick basics on it to give people an idea of exactly what it is and how quick and easy it is to start using it. We give full training on it as well, so which is free, and we just get everybody really up to speed on it. Okay, so we'd log in through our website, and then we'd go into your client area, and then you can log in through your bookkeeping login. That takes you then through into the Kashflow product, or Zero or Sage, whichever people want to use. So this one today we're talking about is Kashflow. Okay, so just to give you some quick basics again, we've raised invoices, so we can go in, we can go to customers, we can raise. I'm not going to go into too much detail here. It's just to give people a quick overview of where everything is and how quick it is to do things. So we've created 2 customers in previous videos. The one we've raised an invoice for, so, and then they just sit in the list. So if we wanted to create another customer, we could put in create customer, and that takes us through to the customer tab. So if we go back into customers now, we've got that one we've just added in. So whenever you go back into your customers, it's sat in the list. You can click into customer, we can enter all the detail in there. So contact details, address, primary contact details, email address, which obviously you need that when you're invoicing out. All this is cloud based, so you can use your phone. You've got a free app with the software. So we can set up default templates, payment terms. So as I say, I'm just going to flick through this very quickly today just to give people an overview. So that's how quick it is to set up a customer. We've set up invoices for customer 2, so in a previous video, if you want to watch it on our website, we created the invoice. We can go into that at any point, so customers, invoice, you can go back into the customer from there, and all the tabs across the top. Always click back into your customers, so we go to customer. We can go to transactions there, so we can see the transactions there. If we click on that, it takes us through to the transaction, so that's the main body of the invoice. We can click into invoices. Instead of clicking on the customer, you click on the invoice number. That takes you through to the invoice as well. So it's great if somebody phones up, can I have a copy of my invoice? Just go in, straight to the customer, straight into the transaction that they've lost their invoice, or they want a copy invoice, email, there it is, sat in the invoice, so all ready to go. So that is really how quick it all is. We can add a payment in here, so if we suddenly get a customer pays us, we can add it in from there. So we can add a payment there against that invoice. So we click on it, there it is. Change the date, so it's these scroll down boxes. March, 8th of March, 180. You can change that to a lesser fee, so it'll show as part paid. If we put the full amount in, it will clear that as paid. You can click into your invoices. As I say, all the invoices are down there, it's showing as unpaid there. Click on that, again it goes you through to there. So you're adding your payments from the invoices as you receive the payment. Always enter it in from there. At the moment it's shown as unpaid. It will obviously as you enter the payment in. So let's do it. So we've received it today, £180. save, now paid. So we can go back into the customer 2, there's your profile, there's your options for your payment settings and your invoice options, and there it is, shows there's a payment. So in the tab now we've got the payment that's coming today against an invoice that was raised then, and it's paid. We can go in there and print it. So just so quick. Along the top, total invoiced, total amount due, amount overdue. So it's so quick. It's really great. Really is a really great product. Okay, back into there. There we go. That's been updated now. So we've got total invoiced, amount due, amount overdue. So that's just updated. So that's the customer side. From a supplier perspective, we've got 2 suppliers in there, exactly the same. You can create one up here. So if you want to put a new supplier in, you can put supplier 3. Opens up the tab, enter all your details in as with the customers, all your details there. That shows your transactions. Obviously there aren't any yet. That's how quick it is to set up a supplier. We can create a purchase from here. So if we're in the customer, we can go straight in and set it up. If we suddenly realise we're in the wrong supplier, we can go and pick a different supplier, cancel that. We can do that. So as I say, we can do that from there. We can go into purchases. Now we have set up supplier 2 on a previous video, which we've raised an invoice for. So transactions, there's the invoice, we've shown it as paid, so 201. We can click on that, it still takes us through, it shows that it's paid there. We can email it again, so even though it's been paid. Now we haven't set up any templates on that, but that was the purchase order. Click out of that. So that's just giving you a quick idea of where we are with the purchases. So if we were wanting to raise a purchase, we can go into purchases, or you can go direct from the supplier. So you can go into the supplier list, create a purchase from there, enter it in from there. Very often what I would do is go into purchases, and then that gives you all your purchases list, which is shown paid or unpaid as they go through, or overdue, depending on the payment terms that have been created. You can create one from there, so we go into there, you've got supplier 1, 2, 3. Now it may be that we'd want to do an invoice for supplier 4. So the fact that we're actually in the invoicing, so that's created a new supplier now. If we click out of there, go back into the supplier list, there's supplier 4. So again, from there we can go in and raise a purchase. So as we receive an invoice off them, we can enter it in here, or we can just go straight into purchases and create it there, which is what people tend to do. They'll sort of do a batch from there. So click on there, supplier 4 or supplier 2, whichever supplier it is, add one in there as we've just done. You might have a purchase number there. It may have a date on it of May the 18th. Payment terms are set up 28 days after invoice, so that's defaulting to the 15th of the 6th. Add a line, materials purchased. You can change this, so it may be that it's fuel. Description, petrol van, rate might be £50, 20% VAT rate, £10, so it's £60. Save. So there's supplier 4, petrol van, £50 fuel, all going in, unpaid. We haven't added a payment yet. So if we go back into our suppliers, we've got supplier 4 showing there now with £60 outstanding balance. We can add the payment from there when we make the payment. We could go into purchases. There it is, supplier 4. If we click on that, it'll take us through to the supplier tab, which is where everything is, and there's your transactions. We can add the payment from there when we pay it. We can click on so we're in purchases, not suppliers, so supplier purchase. We can click on the invoice now, it takes us from there. We can add the payment there. So it's so user friendly, so hopefully it's showing you how quick and easy it is to use. I mean, we have people up and running with it really quickly, and then we drip feed the training as we're going along. Down here we're showing paid, unpaid. So if we've got a supplier, we can add the payment there. We can go into purchases, unpaid, add the payment there, £60 on today's date, save, so that's now paid. Click back in to supplier. We've got supplier 4, there's the payment showing as paid now. So that's where we are. In terms of things like VAT, I mean, we're going to do full-blown videos on pretty much everything to do with the software for this and other software packages, just so people, you know, who are thinking of using these software packages, gives you a great insight to how easy they are to use. Like I say, we here at Brotherton's, we offer the training, and we do it, we drip feed it through to people, so it keeps it nice and simple. You know, we can do a half hour or hour at a time, just to sort of get you up to speed with it all, and we can log in 24/7 with the cloud software now, and just, you know, keep it straight for you, and keep an eye on exactly what you're doing, and it allows us to do management accounts and reviews for you really quickly as well, which is great. Just a quick one, just to finish off, we've got the reports here. So you've got financial reports, business reports, tax reports. You can go in here, have a look at what customers owe you money. So you can click on, you've got to make sure your bank's up to date before you do this, but obviously, but you can click in there and have a look at your customers. That takes you straight through to the customer tab from there. So like I say, it's so user friendly. We've got tax, so if you're VAT registered, you can get all your VAT workings in here. Now we haven't done a VAT return here yet, so you can go up here and do your VAT settings. So we can enter all the VAT settings into there, depending what if you're on the flat rate scheme, or you know what quarters you're doing it for. Create a VAT return, so this is just showing people how easy it is. We haven't got many transactions in here, but you can change your dates, run your report, and that takes you through to your VAT return. So you can download your calculations, so which is what we like to do, and obviously reconcile it all back to make sure that it all is as it should be. So we flick into here, whoops. So that downloads it as a CSV file, as an Excel file. So hopefully that's been useful. Like I say, it's not going into too much detail. It's just a quick run round some of the features of the software, just to give people an idea of exactly how user friendly everything is. We'll be going into a lot more depth in specific areas, so if you keep a look on the website, we've already got some in terms of customising invoices and email templates and numerous others as well. So, you know, it's worth just keeping a look, and we'll be posting them all the time. So hopefully that's been okay, and any questions, please call the office. The telephone number is 01527 68235, and it's John at Brotherton's. Okay, thanks very much. Thanks, bye.